Good morning, everyone. This is Ruth Medd, the Executive Chair of Women on Boards, and it's a pleasure to be here again to give you my weekly rundown of the WOB vacancies as at the 15th of July. So this week in total, we had 29 new vacancies on the WOB Australia Jobs Board, which gave 168 board seats in total, remembering that some postings have more than one vacancy. And on the UK board, we had 66 new vacancies posted and 829 in total. Interestingly, the Australian jobs board overall has got 66% of them are paid roles, which is very pleasing and a little above the long-term average, but augurs well for those of us looking for paid roles. This week, I've got three themes for you: culture and sport, professional services, and health. So culture and sport, these generally don't pay board members a director's fee, but some of them do. So first up is 22847, the Canberra Theatre Centre Project Board, closing on 30th of July. And they're looking for skills in infrastructure, architecture and design and town planning. So it sounds very much like they're redeveloping the Canberra theatres. So that could be of interest to some of you. Next up, we have the Tasmanian Museum and Art Gallery. And uniquely, this does pay their directors. Closing date is 23rd of July, so you've got to be pretty quick for this one. And they're looking for a community representative. So that can be any of you who live in Tasmania. So please get enthusiastic and put your hand up for that one. And thirdly, I've got Table Tennis Victoria. Closes on the 13th of August, and they're looking for a broad range of skills, and they've got a couple of vacancies: human resources, digital marketing, social media, fundraising, and of course, an interest in sport. So something for you if you're interested in culture and sports type boards. My second category is professional services, or you might call those industry associations. And first up is Engineers Australia, which has been featured as our vacancy of the week. We've got a good relationship with Engineers Australia. And this week they have a vacancy for someone who's basically a digi director, as I call them, all things digital and marketing as well. And that closes on the 4th of August. This should be a popular vacancy, but if you've got the skills, please think about applying, and you should have got one of my snap vacancies to alert you if you fit the profile. Second up, an old favourite of mine, Riverland Wine. Now, the Riverland is an interesting wine district in Australia. It's around Mildura, Renmark, Berry. They traditionally have made table wines, but they've upped their ante in recent years and make wines for drinking, as well as table grapes. They're looking for stakeholder engagement, governance, leadership and strategy. Closes on the 29th of July. I really suspect you need to be fairly closely associated with the Riverland to have a chance for this one. But those of us who love wine might be salivating at the prospect of joining a board in an area that we are really very fond of. That means me, of course, but I won't be applying. And finally, the Australasian College of Sport and Exercise Physicians. This is one of the very many medical type industry associations or boards of specialties, and closes on the 30th of July. They're looking for stakeholder engagement, governance, business growth and strategy. They're not looking for a doctor at this point. So that's three in the professional services area. And my final category this week is government/health. I mean, health is largely funded by government, so I can sneak all sorts of things into this category. First up, we've got my old favourite, cemetery trusts in Victoria. There's hordes of them. On this occasion, the five largest cemetery trusts are looking for chairs. Closes on the 25th of July, so you need to get your skates on for this one. They're looking for a broad range of skills, but really you've got to have chair potential or chair experience. So they're looking for stakeholder engagement, governance, public administration and strategy. And the thing about the chairs of the cemetery trusts, I suspect they'll be subsequently looking for members of the cemetery trusts. So why not put your hand up for the chair role if you think you're in with the hunt, and you may then possibly get offered a member role. Second up, La Trobe Health Services. This closes on the 5th of August, and they're looking for the more traditional sorts of governance skills, notably accounting. They would like somebody who perhaps has been a chief financial officer or a chief information officer. They're also looking for information technology, business and development. So a fairly encompassing role, but that could be very interesting. And the third of my health roles is EIS Health New South Wales. Now, you may not know what that means, but it closes on the 6th of August. EIS Health is the eastern suburbs of Sydney health bodies, and there's a number of them, and they've formed together, and they've got this enterprise called EIS Health. And they are looking for commerce and business, risk management, information technology and systems, social care services. So you need to know something about health for that one. So there we've got 3 groups of vacancies for you: culture and sport, professional services and health. And my tip for the week this week is, once again, think about your CV. And this week, I'm not talking about what you're putting into your CV, but its look. It's really, really important that when someone looks at your CV, they're not put off by it being completely low, dense text, crammed together, no white space, and just an overwhelming feeling of there's too many words on the page. You know, looks do matter. And I just recall that in 1926, Coco Chanel launched her little black dress. Now, if you're like me and had a daughter who did lots of formals and birthday parties in her final year at school, which wasn't that long ago, a lot of them turned up in the little black dress. It's an absolute stalwart, and it's all about the look. It's about the elegance. It's about, here I am, I'm part of, you know, this society. So think about that when you look at your CV. It's hard enough to do a CV that's good quality, I know, but once you've got the words in place, you then need to have a bit of style about it. Consistent style and appealing to the reader. So I hope that's a bit of help. Please look at the WOB jobs board. There's lots more on offer. And I hope you enjoy this week's roundup of jobs from WOB. Thank you very much indeed.